Alright, I got the dowels taken down and flush with the bottom here of this mortise. I started with a chisel, but the chisel actually ended up busting part of this dowel. So I actually used a little sawdust and super glue just to make the bottom flush, and I ended up using the Dremel here. I set the bit same depth as the bottom of the channel here, and I was able to knock both these down. Did a pretty nice job. So the next thing I got to do here is we'll take the neck and we'll start fitting the neck and figuring out where we need to drill the new holes to match the bolts on here. Alright, so to see how the neck is actually fitting, I think we're going to have to take, in order to make it fit right too, we're probably going to have to take a little bit off the tenon here, because this is bottoming out in the U on the bottom of the mortise. So I'm going to take these, I'm going to take the bolts out and fit the neck without the bolts in there. Okay, here's what happened. I took the bolts out and then I put the neck back in the slot here. And actually, what I'm finding, it must have not been bottoming out in the channel, because we're very close to being flush with the top. This is maybe a 32nd of an inch off. So very lightly, I'm just going to take a little bit off the bottom here of the tenon, so that this will seat a little bit, just a little bit lower on here. We don't really need to take off much, that's for sure. Right, the way I decided I'm going to do this is with, I've got some sanding sticks here, and then just lightly I'm going to just remove a little bit of material off the bottom. Let's recheck it here. It's very close, just a little bit more. Alright, I've got it. It's very, very close here to the top. It's just about flush. What we gotta do is make sure too that the neck surface here, that the neck that we've got, we've got to make sure that this is completely true and flat. And it seems to be pretty good in this direction, but I noticed if I go like this, checking it this way, I'm seeing a little bit of light. So it's got a little bit of a bow in it. This is the high part here. I'm seeing a little light at both ends. So I'm going to take it over to my sanding table. I've got a granite sanding table, and I think I'll just hit it very lightly with a little 120 grit paper on the granite table, and take off the last, I think we've only got maybe a 64th left, and just true it up, and I bet you that should get it completely flush with the body here. Okay, here's my table. Let's move this. This is my next guitar, Indian rosewood, and I've got some really nice Adirondack spruce. This is the granite table here. Here's my neck, and we don't have to take off much, but I just want to get it absolutely flat. So we'll just mark this with some chalk here, almost like when we sanded the sides. Just making sure we're taking it off evenly. See how it's coming off here? We're taking it off of here, but as I said, it was a little higher in the middle and not on the ends here, so I'm going to take a little bit more off here. Just about. We're not quite hitting the front here. I'll turn it around just to make sure getting all even pressure. Okay, we got the back good, just a little bit up front here. Just about. Okay, it's all gone. I don't want to take too much off because we really didn't have to take much off based on the how close we were to the body being flush. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Oh, that's pretty. God, there's maybe 1,000th. I mean, it's very close. I think I'll go back to the granite table there and just take off a little bit more rather than taking it off the bottom here. Well, the neck seems to be fitting well on the body, and it's flush. One thing that I need to do now is give this part of the neck some relief, just so that really the only part we want touching is the outside sides here, so that we can adjust the neck when we start attaching it to the guitar. We don't want the middle touching, so I want to just take out a small amount of material right along the tenon here. And I'm just going to kind of work that way in. Let's go right around and relieve some of this off of here. Okay, you can see this a little bit better, but I just took out some material from close to the tenon and left the outside edges alone. So these are the same, but I took, like, you know, maybe 5/1000 or so off of this stuff here, so we can it'll make the neck easier to fit, and it'll be a lot tighter fit by doing that. Okay, here's how we're going to make a nice tight fit between the edge of the neck and the body. Get some stick 'em sandpaper. This is 220 grit. Stick it here. Take a razor blade and cut out where the tenon's going to go. Okay, I'm going to take the neck, pop it in here, and just do a couple even strokes on the paper here. Okay, you can see I'm hitting everywhere except here, so I want to do a couple more strokes. Okay. And can you see on here, this is why I relieved it. You can see where the sandpaper is hitting on the outside edges. That way we don't have as much material to remove. And if we pop that back in, we got a very nice tight fit. Again, this is just preliminary because we still have to make sure the angle's right and the neck is centered. But that gets us an initial pretty nice tight fit. Alright, I want to drill the holes back into the neck block. So what I did is I took the neck and I get some plastic here, and I made a template that'll match the holes. All I got to do is slide this, just slide this into the neck pocket and use the template to drill those holes. Okay, got a brad point 5/16 and a regular 5/16. I'm going to start with the brad point but not go all the way through because the brad point tends to punch out the back. Okay, let's see how we do. We got the new holes in there. Alright. Looks pretty good. It's flush with the top. And it's a good initial step here. Alright, neck lines up good, and I put the two bolts in and I just snugged them up a little bit because this is where the fun begins now. We've got to make sure we've got the right neck angle. Now if you remember when we sanded the top, I made sure that this part of the guitar right here was flat. If I take a straight edge from here and look about where I marked where the bridge is going to be with the saddle. Here, let's see. Saddle's going to be approximately back here. And you want to have about 3/30 seconds where the saddle is. And that's exactly what I got. 3/30 seconds. But here's the problem. The same thing with the neck. I got to get a longer straight edge, but I can tell with this one that if I come down with this straight edge, I'm actually hitting the body here. Now, it might not be a problem. I've got to get a longer straight edge. No, it's a problem because we're starting to hit the sound hole here. So what that means is the neck's kind of tilted this way, and we've got to be higher here. So I'm going to have to take off there. As I'm running the ruler down here, I'm actually hitting the sound hole. You see that? See the ruler? If I'm tied up against the neck, it should actually be coming out this way. Starting to come up this way. But it's coming towards the body. So that means that the neck is set too far forward. And we're going to have to play around. Take some material off the bottom here and get the right neck angle. But I got to get a longer, I'm going to have to get a longer straight edge, like 36-inch straight edge. I think the longest I've got. Actually, the 24-inch will work. And with this, you can really see that we're too close with the camera. Okay, just to show you again, here I marked the little dot where the saddle is going to be. We should have 3/30 seconds of an inch there. And what happens if I put the straight edge on the neck here, she comes down, but then it starts right away. She starts running to the top here. So that means this end of the neck is too high this way. It's got to go down that way. And the way we're going to do that is by taking material off the bottom heel of the neck. See, if we take material off down here, it's going to change the angle. So that's the challenge of getting the proper neck angle, but it's I think it's one of the most important things on the guitar to make it play well. So I think that's it. I'm going to post this video because I think this is going to take time, especially because last two that I made, as I say, I had the Frank was there helping, so he made putting the neck set on much easier with his experience. So me doing it on my own, it's probably going to take me a little while because I'm going to want to go very slowly and not take too much material off of here and overdo it.